All right, it's tournament day, everyone. We're going to be running it back with the same Boros energy deck that we were playing yesterday. This is the version without Lurrus and with bigger cards like Flage, Fable the Mirror Breaker, and Blood Moon. I haven't made any changes to the list because I think the list is pretty good. Perfect, maybe not. I was thinking about some tweaks I could make to the sideboard. I was thinking maybe we could do 3 copies of Flage in the main deck. I think this is close enough for the first timeless tournament. I also think these containment priests are a little cute and not quite good enough, but deck lists are locked in, so no changes. All right, since the tournament's taking a few minutes to get started, I'm going to really quickly share some of these deck lists that people have made, because some of them are really cool. I've seen this blue-red Tamiyo deck on ladder before. I saw a mono-blue version and a blue-red version of it. This is actually a really sweet control list. Tamiyo is a card that goes nuts once you transform it. This is a 1-mana planeswalker that has a +2 that protects itself very, very well. This is tough for my deck to beat. So I'm looking at this deck to maybe win. Then we have a couple people who registered variations of Scam. Here's a Gen Scam playing Minskin Boo, and then there is a Rakdos Scam as well. So there's a couple of good matchups for us. We have one player on Titan, which I wasn't expecting Titan because it's an old deck with no 2 new cards. So hopefully we do well. Looks like our matches are ready, so I'll go through these decks really quick. Except Flare is the only new card. We have the Blood Moons for this, and kind of Containment Priests. We have this really cool quote-unquote Maverick list. Bant deck playing, the Maverick package of Knight of the Reliquary, Elvish, Reclaimer, and then we're playing cool cards like Nadu, Stoneforge Mystic, Skyclave Apparition, Raymond Excavator. Awesome stuff, right? Bant Yorion pile. Sweet. Um, Wanted to shout out Shadow Basilisk. You have cooked with my low to the ground version of this deck. You're playing both Ruby Collector, which I don't think is great, but Nurturing Pixie. Whoa, this is a good pick. I remember playing this in limited Outlaws at Thunder Junction. This is sweet. You cooked with this card. Absolutely. Then we got a burn list. And one more shout out. One more shout out. This is me. Someone copied my list from yesterday. Someone saw the second video I made. So hopefully they split the winnings with me, right? That's what we agreed to. I get half of your prize if you win. I think that's fair. Kidding, of course. All right, let's get into our first game. Let me check that spreadsheet again and see what they're playing. Oh, that's the Tamiyo player. All right. All right, opening hand of the tournament. Our opponent is going to be going first here. I don't think this is keepable. We do have the double flage, which I like, but this hand is a little too top heavy for 1 land. We are against the Tamiyo deck, so let's keep that in mind. We do want to go quick. We want to go under the Tamiyo if we can. All right, let's go ahead and put back a Flooded Strand. All right, I am a little worried about this matchup. I did play it on ladder, and it was tough. It was tough to beat a flip Tamiyo. However, their deck is pretty threat light, so might be able to overwhelm them. Let me look at their list again. Although they play Snapcaster Mage, Tamiyo, 2 Tishana's Tidebinders, and some Party Thrashers as their threats. That's about it. Ooh, that's interesting. We could dash out a Ragavan right now. I don't think Dash Ragavan is that good into their deck. They are a control deck. There's going to be a couple of cards that we won't be able to use that we hit. Fantastic Spell Snare. That's something that people are going to be registering against my deck. All right, let's go for Amped Raptor number 2. And if this doesn't resolve, we do get to probably jam a Ragavan. Sweet. It looks like we're going to be able to multi-spell this turn very well. All right, ooh, we get an attack step with a Ragavan? There's no promises it connects. Also, unfortunately, my draw has been really slow here. We've given the control deck a lot of time here. Yep, Snapcaster Flashback Bolt. In this situation, I am pretty interested in shooting the Snapcaster Mage before it gets a chance to block. We'll generate a lot of extra energy here too. There's a consideration to keep this discharge for a Tamiyo, because that card is scary and it does beat me. Alright, let's put a Gigantha into our hand. Unfortunately, this is the kind of slow draw where we're just going to present a Gigantha on turn 5, and that's really all that we're going to be doing. Also, since I tapped out, they had a chance to flip that Tamiyo over there. Because if they went Tamiyo, then Brainstorm, the card flips immediately. That's kind of scary. Ooh, sweet. Chaining some amulets together. I think it's a very good idea to throw the Swords to Plowshares at Tamiyo. Oh, that's a good one for next turn. I'm just thinking about whether or not the timing of Swords to Plowshares should be now, should be later. They could have a counterspell with some of their last mana, at which point they would just Brainstorm and flip the Tamiyo. However, they didn't flip Tamiyo while I was tapped out, so leads me to believe that they don't have a way to flip her. I still do want to try to get her out of the way for this Amped Raptor. Also, it's hard to believe that they have a counterspell, because like they let these amulets resolve while I had a bunch of energy floating. Flame of Inor. Okay. Going for a value play. Tamiyo is gone. Again, it's a little slow. My deck's going a little slow compared to what I would like it to do in this matchup. Your opponent's playing their own amulets, which is cool. They have the ability to draw 3 cards on that amulet, which is a lot. I think here I should cast the Amped Raptor first, then cast the Fable, or maybe I want to cast the Fable, then see what's under here, and then decide whether or not I want the Amped Raptor. Let's do that. Fable first. Because I could hit something like a Ragavan, dash it in before combat. Opponent's going to look for a counterspell. Ooh, Mystic Sanctuary, sweet. Alright, let's see what's under here. Guide of the Souls. Bolt my creature. Let's go ahead and play this Amped Raptor. While it's very likely resolved, they could have Spell Snare as their last card, but I'm not going to put them on it. Looks like opponent hasn't been drawing their answers very well. As much as I've been complaining about not drawing a density of threats, they really haven't drawn the density of answers. If my opponent had a different draw where their hand was absolutely stacked with Spell Snares, Lightning Bolts, and Snapcaster Mages, then I would be absolutely out of the game right now. They're going to put Flame on top. That tells me that they probably have another Snapcaster in their hand. Maybe it's Shonda's Tagbinder, maybe Tammy. Oh, they're just drawing 2. Okay. Yeah, they're in desperation mode right here. Alright, sweet. I think this Gigantha can probably go. It's just too expensive. We'll play Guide of Souls. Ping our opponent for 1. And then it's a question of... do I want to spend my energy attacking? They could just have a Lightning Bolt here. Or do I want to dig deeper? I think I want to spend it attacking. Let's put them on the removal spell here. Let's make them have it. Kind of regret throwing away that Gigantha, though. Now I don't have much going on. Like they do indeed have the removal spell here. What I could do is shoot my own creature with a Galvanic Discharge to deny them the energy. I think that's a little bit much. We're going to knock them down to 4. I think we're doing good. Right, maybe the decision to get rid of Gigantha wasn't the best. I was saying, oh, it's so much mana. I am not going to have the mana to cast it because I'm going to cast multiple things off of here. I'm thinking about that decision a little bit more. And spending energy here is worth 1 damage. And it's a lot safer, right? And it also gets me a card. Maybe I should have spent the energy here. I think I should have. Good news is that we do have this discharge to hopefully guarantee the damage goes through. Yeah, look at them. They're just digging, digging, digging. They're looking for something. When I played this deck in ranked, it really did go off. And I was very afraid going into this matchup, but we're definitely seeing one of the clunky draws that this deck can have. Every deck has clunky draws, including mine. Like, you saw my first hand, right? It was like Flage, Fable of the Mirror Breaker. That's clunky as well. Alright. Thank you for the energy. Okay, I really am missing this Gigantha right about now. Let's see what they have here. That's going to be a discharge. This is still a lethal attack, so we're not going to screw with this. I am really, really tempted to shoot my own creature with a discharge if they have something else. Mana drain, okay. There's Snappy. Oh, Snappy get discharged back? Yeah, that's pretty good. The good news here, though, is that they are tapped out of mana drain, so I'll be able to resolve my discharge very cleanly. You know what? I think my opponent punted. Let's resolve this stack, boys. We'll notice that there's a certain trigger that's still at the bottom of the stack. Oh, that's rough for them. There's a trigger at the bottom of the stack and they are tapped out. My opponent needed to let this trigger resolve before they started responding to things, because I didn't have the energy before until I cast that static discharge. That's unfortunate for them. Alright, so against this deck, we could think about bringing in Blood Moons, but they are a two-color deck that plays enough basic islands. I think they're going to be smart enough to fetch around it, especially considering that this is an open deck list tournament. So let's think about what we're going to want to answer their strategy. Maybe Archon of Emeria would be pretty sweet if we slam that on turn 3. I don't really have any dedicated anti-control sideboards or sideboard cards. I'd love to bring in Hand Hate if we were in that color. I'm a little concerned about bringing in too many 3-drops against a deck with counter spells, though. So think about what I want to cut. They're not super threat dense, but I do really want to be able to answer threats like Tamiyo. Games are going to go long, so I think Static Prison might be a liability. Then we play Archon of Emeria. We are going second, which is something to consider, so maybe we do want the extra removal. Maybe we do want an extra Archon when we are going second, but then maybe it's too slow. I would say that's too slow when we're going second. Let's run this back. All right, sweet. Game 2. Right. We got a removal spell, we got Amp Raptor, we got Amulet, we got a lot of energy running around. Go ahead and fetch out Easter Veil land here. Unless our opponent presents a threat like Ledger Shredder. Actually, they're not on Ledger Shredder. They are on I can't answer any of their 2-mana threats, huh? Because their silly Party Thrasher guy has 4 toughness. Snapcaster Mage is not going to play at sorcery speed. This does cleanly answer the Tamiyo. There she is. I will try to shoot her here, because if I do this, it means I get to cleanly resolve my Amp Drafter, which could very well hit another removal spell. I also don't think I mind shocking in here for this first fetch to make sure I have perfect mana. Oh, they flip her in response. That's so good. That's nice.
This will be a boon to my research.
All right, let's go ahead and play a Raptor. Hopefully we can hit a cool removal spell. Get a Guide of Souls, which is something. We're going to get it to generate a lot of energy next turn, so maybe we could still attack down the Tamiyo. It's going to be tough. She gets a lot of loyalty very quickly. Followed up by another Tamiyo. It's so rough.
Perhaps there are more useful texts down on the surface.
Interesting. So we could swords this other Tamiyo. I think what's probably best is to just play all of my creatures out. Let me actually check their deck list for board wipes. Oh, okay. Yeah, so I'm totally down to play out all of my creatures here. This Tamiyo, it's going to be tough to attack down. Like I was playing this in ranked last night. This gets tough right here. We are going to get a lot of energy though, which means we're going to get some big attackers in. Attack with this. No sense in attacking with this one because it's just going to get shrunk. I'm going to put all the power on the Amped Raptor. This is only attacking for 3 instead of 4 because of Tamiyo. And I'm very, very interested in hitting this with the Swords to Plowshares. I'll probably do that at sorcery speed on my next main phase. Yeah, I think right now we just need to be as aggressive as possible and not get too cute at all. The deck list is pretty straightforward. I know I'm not thinking that much right now. I'm not really trying to explore these lines, but I really think it's do or die. We gotta kill this Tamiyo now, or bad things are gonna happen to us. Alright, sweet. So we're gonna begin with a swords on this Tamiyo. Tidebinder, sure. Okay, sweet. Now we get to cleanly resolve this. Having anything for energy. I'm going to play around a removal spell, even though I'm pretty sure they don't have it. Ilya flickers this. Yeah, flickers that for 2 energy. Got resolve. And then we're going to pay, we're going to grow Ophelia. So these are both lethal attacks to Tamiyo. Alright, now our opponent isn't playing board wipes. We've killed a Tamiyo, we've exiled another. This is looking pretty good for us. Maybe I'm putting a little too much value on that Tamiyo, but when I played it in ranked, like I just couldn't do anything once that card flipped. I couldn't reasonably attack down my opponent because like this attacks for 0 here, this Guide of Souls. You can't out aggro this control deck. So our opponent is passing with mana up, which is a little sus. Maybe it's nothing. Probably is nothing. Oof. Blooded Strand. That's not great. Let's see what's under here. Oh, a Windswept Teeth. It's no better. Good combat. Attacking with this, like, lets me get blown up by a flash creature, like Tishana's Tidebinder, or just a Snapcaster trading. I like to have these guys back just as energy generator. So I don't think I'm going to play into that. Yeah, Tidebinder. Called it. So if we attacked with the Guide of Souls, we would have just played right into the Tidebinder. Oh, Ophelia also lost flying, which is funny. That's an ability. Our opponent's going to take a bit of damage here. Put Gigantha into our hand. Pass. Ophelia has lost all the abilities until this Tidebinder goes. So no more flickering for us. Okay, Ophelia is going to take 5, and they're going to draw 2, because they have both modes, because of the Tidebinder in play. Good for us, we have an extra Ophelia, just chilling. Chilling in reserve. And I think we have a lethal attack, right? We're very close to it. We're going to get 4 energy here, which means, and we could flicker their Tidebinder, so yeah, that should be a lethal attack. For us. Dash in the monkey, it's even better. Flicker out your Tidebinder. Okay, my energy. Okay, that was scary for a second. My heart started racing when the Tamiyo came down, because like I lost to it so hard in ranked before. Alright, sweet. That's a quick 2-0 in our first game. I was worried about this matchup when I looked at the deck list, because it's something that I saw like literally twice in my life in ranked, and both times I got kind of thrashed by it, and I don't really have sideboard cards for it. But sweet, we were able to curve under them this time, and they didn't get to do their control plan. All right, yeah, this is the guy who beat the crap out of me in ranked. All right, round 2 is up. We are up against the Scam opponent over here. Let's center that a little bit. They are playing Scam with a light green splash for Minskin Boo. Playing the Deathrite Shaman, activated ability, of course. A little bit of Generous, and they do have some forces and some random green cards in their sideboard, but not too many. Seems like just pretty close to the stock Rakdos scam. There's jamming some Shieldreds as well. Shieldred's the One Ring. A bit bigger than a lot of scam builds I've seen on ladder. I've seen a few Necro builds, but not as many Ring builds. Unfortunately, our first hand did not look good. Gonna have to mulligan that one. Hand number 2 looks sweet, though. We'll go ahead and put our Surveil Lamp back. Going second is always a little bit tough, especially against a deck that's going to rip my hand apart, but what you gonna do? We're going to resolve one decent threat. Actually, I'm thinking about my keep a little bit more. I think I might want to keep this Elegant Parlor, because I don't have a fetch land to get it, and if my hand really gets ripped apart, I'm going to value this Surveil. I wonder. What would you do in this situation? Which of these lands would you keep if you're on the draw against Scam? Do you want that guaranteed Surveil? I think I kind of do. Because I have 2 other untapped ones. Alright, let's see it. Oh, we didn't get scammed? What? Ain't no pitch grief. Not dead after all. No. I feel scammed because I didn't get scammed. Alright, Cycle Generous Ant may or may not have a Reanimate coming through next turn. We do have Philia to flicker their stuff out of the way so that Ragavan can get through. Oh, yep, there goes Raggy Man. Goodbye. Alright. This is the question of, do we want to flash in Philia and then play the Amp Raptor? Or do we want to just play Amp Raptor right now? I think we can wait on that Amp Raptor. We can get a little Philia value here. Alright, I'm going to let this hit me, because they could have a second Bowmasters if I choose to block. Instead, it looks like they just have a normal removal spell. That's fine. Alright, so the question is, do we want to Amp Raptor and put some pressure on the board, or do we want to play Flage? Flage is not too far off from escaping, which is really good. I think Amp Raptor and getting a nice 2-for-1 here is great. Anything that we hit, even a removal spell for the Bowmasters, is really sweet here. No, the one thing that's not good! Ah, ruined. Oh, it's ruined. My tournament is ruined. It's okay. It's a little unfortunate, but not the end of the world. We're chilling. This Flage is probably going to win us the game against Scam. So I want to peep their deck list really quick. I always think ahead. I was thinking about sideboarding a little bit. They have 3 basic swamps and a basic forest. Blood Moon might not kill him.
He will never wins because it's too tiny.
It's too tiny.
We are large and in charge.
Alright, what are we doing, opponent? What are we doing here? We're doing nothing. Interesting. So I think we should be static prisoning Minsk. I'm playing Flage. Yeah. Grab a white source here. Goodbye. And we play this cool Flage card.
Potion and a soft bed.
One more card needed in the graveyard for Flage only, which is pretty nice. Opponent reading my card. Seeing how long it is until it escapes, it is escaping very, very soon. If we draw a land, it does escape immediately. Okay, there goes my Bowmaster, so I will be able to escape the Flage. An opponent is getting in there for 6. Alright. I'm going to pay. Get Flage back. Flage might eat a Fatal Push, sure, but I'm going to be pretty happy to... I'm going to take out Bowmasters because we drew Fable. I was thinking about taking out that 2/2 token. It's a little bigger. It's more likely to erase me, but since we have this draw discard effect coming up, we want to take out the Bowmasters. They do have the Fatal Push, okay? Flage goes back. It will come back at a later day. We can rebuild pretty quick with this Fable, though, which is good. However, opponent might slow down this game enough. Oh, another Minsk. That's tough. It's tough stuff.
One butt kicking foot. So, look at us.
So it might be game. We'll see. Oh, they sacked the hamster right away and draw 4. Okay.
This one, the mighty masher.
They didn't get their attack step in. Might be a mistake. Hope to see. Okay, here comes the grief. Unfortunately, there goes my nice card I was going to rebuild with. Alright, am I going to legend rule these Minskins? It would give them a little bit more loyalty on the Minsk. We'll legend rule it. At the very minimum, this is going to fill my graveyard a little bit.
We're off on another thrilling adventure. Bigger is always, always.
Yeah, this goes. We're gonna have to Swords the Boo at some point.
We have muscle.
Probably now, obviously, in this attack step. I'm very sus of the current board state. It's not looking good for the home team, unfortunately.
We will stomp out evil.
Yeah, unfortunately, this has to go, otherwise they're just gonna fling it at me next turn. Now we'll have Giganta as a blocker, and then hopefully Fleech coming back pretty soon after that. Great, though. They're going through their graveyards. They might have Reanimate Grief or something else. I think we'll concede to another threat from their side. Oh no, my graveyard. Shiak is honestly not that good against me. Fleech is the one thing that it hits. So I don't mind it. I don't mind it being in their deck. Obviously here it's killing me. We'll give myself one more draw. But unfortunately this is a lost game.
Look at us. We are tough. We are large and in charge.
I'm thinking about sideboarding and what they're going to bring in against us on Boros. Picture Poison? No. Picking Needle? No. Surgical? No. Thoughtseize? Also no. Veil? Not really useful against us. Molten Collapse? Maybe. Toxic Deluge? They have one copy of that. It's definitely coming in. The rest? Not really. They also have Blood Moon in their sideboard, which is cool. Alright, they played a Ring. Let's give it up. Ring is not something that we will be able to go around. I'm thinking Pithing Needle would actually be a really good way to name the One Ring, to keep them from getting their card advantage. And it could also be used to name Minskin Boo. Any sideboard cards that it would be good against? I mean, if they bring in another Ashiok, sure, but I'm not too concerned about Ashiok. Play the Pithing Needles. Um, Is Static Prison worth it? Static Prison to hit the Minsk was very, very good there. I think we are going to want to be able to answer their threats. Static Prison also hits the One Ring. So I am interested in playing the Static Prisons. Containment Priest also does prevent them from doing the scam thing. Pretty sweet. Or it prevents them from reanimating after we get to play the Containment Priest. So we have a lot of playable cards here. These cards, I would consider them all very playable in this matchup. So what don't we want? I think Pithing Needle, just to name one of their cards, is the least good out of all of these. We're going to try to aggro them. We're going to try to go under them in this matchup. It just becomes the question of what to do next. I think we can maybe take the swords out and then just rely on Containment Priest plus Ophelia to keep the board clear. And that's a question of what are the last 3 cuts. I was thinking maybe Fable, but this is a high quality card that lets us rebuild after we get scammed. So probably not. We'll probably cut 1 Ragavan just because we are playing against a Bowmaster's deck. It's going to be very hostile to it. And, I'm not sure about this last cut. I really do believe in Philia Containment Priest to carry me through this matchup, so I think the cuts might just be Ragavans. Is Fleege good against them? Yeah, it's pretty good, I would say. Our graveyard's going to fill pretty quick. I would like more Ragavans on the play, though. But what is worth cutting for it? I think too much. I'm not confident about this sideboarding. I'm thinking maybe the 3 Ragavans would be better than 3 Containment. Let's see. Their deck is kind of slow for a scam deck. They're not all in. They're trying to play One Ring, so the slower plan of Containment Priest might work. Alright, let's get into game 2. Playing first. Alright, this is a fine Amped Raptor hand for when we're on the play. No sideboard cards, but I don't think sideboard cards are too mission critical in this matchup. This hand is pretty resilient to getting scammed. Like, all these cards are 2-for-1s in one way or another, and they can all let us rebuild really quick. Tap land, go. Let's get scammed. Oh, you know what I forgot? Got the silly profile picture for this matchup, or for this tournament. Oh, I mean, that's just too distracting as a GIF. I like it. Alright, so opponent presented a turn 1 ring, which is pretty sweet. So if we play Amp Drafter, there's actually a lot of misses, which makes me actually not want to play it. I think I might just want to play Ragavan. Or we could play Amulet. Interesting choices. The upside of playing Amulet is not much. It doesn't put any bodies on the board. It doesn't put pressure on them when they just played a One Ring. Ragavan does put pressure on them, but it dies to a Stiff Breeze. Amp Drafter just has so many misses. Flages are misses. Fables are misses. Any removal spell is a miss, though might generate me energy. Actually, a removal spell for the ring is not a miss if we hit the Static Prison, right? Let's go ahead and put the pressure on the board. I think we are losing if we just play an Amulet and don't put any pressure on. That's a good hit as an energy generator. Okay. There goes my Amp Raptor. So Ragavan very much would have died to Bowmasters. Pretty good. So let's do Amp Raptor. Or do we want Fable? I want Amped Raptor. I want some energy here. Liege. Alright, that's a good one to get in the graveyard. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put a Ragavan in play. So now we got 3 energy. And we're gonna turn that into aggression. Alright, unfortunately that Guide of Souls had to go. They're looking at my graveyard now. Maybe they have a surgical for Fleege or something along those lines. It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world for me if that happened, though I also wouldn't be the happiest guy in the world. DT. Maybe it's a DT for the 1 surgical. Their life total is going to go exceedingly low if they do that, though. We're not at the point where we can be escaping Fleege right away. So, question, do we want to play Fable? Do we want to play Amulet? I like the idea of play Fable and get a Surveil land. I think before we do that, we should be attacking. Attack you for 2. We'll get chunked. Maybe I should have attacked with Ragavan too, just to fill my graveyard for Fleege. That's actually not a bad idea. Get Fable down, play a land, and we're getting a Surveil land on our opponent's end step. Alright, there's Shieldred. Not an unbeatable card at all. But they are going to get a lot of life off of the One Ring here. Alright. Gaining a bit of life. Up to 16, ouch. That's going to be tough. Alright, William Parlor. See what's on top. Don't think I need another random land. I'd rather just go straight to the graveyard. Even though that is a land that helps us dig, we are against the One Ring, and our opponent has a lot of cards in hand, so I don't think we need to be digging right now. I think we need to be winning fast. We need to get this Fleege resolved and keep it resolved. Opponent is getting rid of some Deathrite Shamans. Cool. Ooh, Philia plus Containment Priest for perma removal? That's very interesting. I actually might be interested in doing that over Fleege. I'm gonna keep them both. But I definitely want to do Fleege if our opponent blocks here, though. So we're gonna attack with everything. We're gonna threaten to hit them with a Ragavan. I don't think they let the Ragavan hit them, but maybe they do. Maybe they're nice to me. They don't. Okay. Fine. So now we get to escape Fleege, kill the Shieldred. And what we get to do is flash out Philia, and then we can start doing Philia plus Containment Priest to flicker a follow-up Shieldred or whatever other creature they might have. Which is really good. They got the Flare? Yeah. Good stuff. I don't gain my 3 life here, but the Shieldred dies anyway. I wonder, I just saw that Black Flare in their deck list. I wonder if I could have played around it. Maybe I play Fleege before attackers, and then I just hit the Shieldred then. But then they just don't block, I'm sure. Alright, there's another Shieldred, so it looks like they're going to be able to gain a bunch of life, but I will perma-exile it if I get to attack. Wishful thinking with them having this many cards in hand. Let's see it, though. I'm always down to play it out in a tournament. I was trying to think about my outs. I feel like this Containment Priest is pretty good. I do want ring removal at some point. You want something good to happen. Alright, hopefully our opponent just decides to play a Deathrite Shaman and doesn't have a flare so that we get to do the busted Ophelia Containment Priest thing. And we get to scam the Scam Lords. No! Alright, that's fine. I am just going to play Ophelia out with Flash and let Containment Priest get discarded. Ophelia is powerful enough. Looks like opponent does have the ability to scam it based on the pause, so we do want to play the Ophelia. Seems like they're holding full control, because they keep getting priority. It's a shame we couldn't get the combo going. Maybe this combo's a little just too fragile. It is really sweet to just permanently exile one of your opponent's things every single turn. Especially when it's a Shieldred or a Troll that they work so hard to reanimate. We were getting somewhat close to Flage. We only need 2 more cards to hit the bin, which is not impossible. Are they going to do the not dead after all anyway? Probably, it seems. Player of Malice. Aha. Very cool. Alright, drawing another Philia is a bit unfortunate. Our opponent still seems to be holding full control for whatever reason. I am going to go to combat here and attack with this. I think I'm going to flicker my Kiki Jiki. So if they block here, we get to escape Flage and kill the Shieldred. If they have a Fatal Push or something, then oh well. And it looks like opponents a bit too smart for that. I will play this out because it's a tournament, but if this was a ranked game, I would concede. There is no way we win at this point, unfortunately. Oh, I should have put Jegs into my hand. Post-combat main phase. Getting scammed on this fine Tuesday. I mean, hey, it's a tournament. We're still playing. Opponent's down to 23 cards in the deck. Maybe we could just gain enough life and win that way. Oh no! That's rough. Alright, -1 HP. We do have some draws that will help here, though. Like, you know, removal spells to get rid of the Shieldred. We can escape a Flage. There is hope in this world. Not much hope, though. Alright, man. Yeah, it's gonna help close it out quick.
Go for the ice boot! The
The
ice! Look at us. We are tough. Bigger is always better.
They have a surgical too for Fleech. Are you looking at my graveyard there? See you. Myphilia? That's so mean. Field's a powerful card. We can keep it. Why take Myphilia? They're gonna want to blink my Flage out of the way. That's why. That's smart. Okay. Okay, we do have to hit this here. Not looking good. Still.
Magic? We have muscle.
That's a lot of cards. Alright, just deck yourself for me, opponent, please. Whee! Yeah, I don't think it's always lose at this point. They pull out the Fatal Push. I'm gonna look at their sideboard, right? They pull out any removal spell. They play any other threat. They hard cast a troll. They play a Grief for free. I'm gonna save both of us some time. Alright, GG's though. Can't win them all. Alright, game 3 just came through, or match 3 just came through. We're playing against Winkers. I don't know what they're playing and didn't quite check yet. Take a look at that spreadsheet really quick. Winkers is on. Oh, the Maverick build. Alright, this is sweet. This is an 80 card Yorion deck. They're playing a lot of classic cards like Knight of the Reliquary, Elfish Reclaimer, Stoneforge Mystic, some powerful stuff. They're trying out Nadu as well. Thalia. Ooh. So hopefully we can get under their strategy, because they will definitely out mid-range us. Let's see how it goes. This seems like a good opening hand. Ragavan start? Always happy to have that, right? A little worse on the draw, but even if the Ragavan start doesn't work out, like they put up some roadblocks, we could just generate a bunch of energy and a bunch of card advantage. And don't you look at their mana base? I think this is a great Blood Moon matchup. They're playing, oh wow, they're playing a bunch of junk. Bunch of junk in the trunk and only one of each basic for their 4 colors. So hopefully this is a good Blood Moon matchup. Hey, Bugbear, have a Raggy Man. Maybe I should have fetched a Sacred Foundry just in case I draw like second Guide of Souls and I want to do double Souls next turn. With Souls plus Plowshares? Yeah, that was probably a mistake. But then Bugbear would have been a tapped land. Interesting. I'm thinking about Bugbear now. I really haven't activated it much. Maybe it just shouldn't be in the deck. Maybe it should just be a different utility land. I don't know. We'll think about it. Yeah, we're gonna want to get this guy out of the way so that we can get hit in with Ragavan. Alright, we didn't hit anything useful, but what we did get is a treasure. Love me some treasures. Alright, Stoneforge Mystic. They have Cryptic Coat for mid-rangeness. They have Assimilation for removal. They do go with a Cryptic Coat for that slow card advantage over time and an unblockable threat. Ooh, a Chani. Okay. Alright, so we could play Fable here, saturate our mana. We also could just play a Johnny. What do we want to play? I'm very interested in giving this Ragavan flying, because they aren't going to have a flying blocker. I think we could play the Fable out this turn, just saturate our mana. And then next turn we could get a double spell in involving a Johnny that would get us enough energy to fly the Ragavan. We also get to draw 2, discard, and draw another card while we formulate this plan. Just going to pass the turn here. Old Desert. Oh, wait, Desert against my Ragavan? Oh, no. Oh, no. Alright, swords? I probably still keep the swords, even though there's not much point in swordsing this Stoneforge Mystic specifically. Ooh, it's a good day, brother. That's another Ajani. This gives us enough energy to fly our Ragavan, which is the main thing I wanted to accomplish. And we're going to get a treasure token, one off of each of these probably. And that's going to allow us to legend roll the Ajani after combat. And that's just going to pull us ahead, I'm sure. Alright, Flying Ragavan getting in there. Yeah, here comes the Cryptic Coat. I wouldn't mind a trade here for my token at all. All I care about is this Ragavan. Oof! Whipped up that morph! He no longer has... Ward 2. Yes, it no longer has Ward 2. It's only Ward 2 and it's flipped upside down, so I'm going to give you 4 life here and save my token. Right, unfortunately we did just make a treasure, but that's, like, really good here because we get to flip our Johnny.
Nothing can break our bond.
And I think this damage just goes up top here.
Traitors will be punished. To me!
Alright, sweet. Nice aggro curve for game 1. Alright, game 2, we definitely want these Blood Moons. I think we might also want these Archons just to hate on their lands. Because they do have a pretty considerable land-based plan, so we could slow that down a lot with that. Like Static Prison goes, because this matchup is going to be very slow. I think we did a limited challenge by accident. That's okay. Hey, let's sideboard down to 40, right? It might be difficult to attack Ophelia, so it might go. This, I think, is a pretty free matchup for Ragavan. Actually, let's keep all of them. I think we should keep the curve as low as possible. So we take out the Fables, we take out one Flage, and then we run it back looking like this. I like this a lot. So to summarize, we lowered the curve. Well, we put in our 3-drop bangers. We lowered the curve otherwise. We took out some removal. Maybe we do want these Static Prisons back in. Do we? Over a Flage? Yeah, the one Flage has to be better. This is removal after all. Thinking about it. Maybe we want a Flage over a Ragavan when we're going second? Maybe. Hmm. Yeah, when we're going second, we could put a Flage over a Ragavan. Alright, ooh, we got a Ragavan hand even though we cut a copy of him. Maybe I shouldn't be cutting Ragavans. I'm just so happy whenever I see him in an opener. That was a little awkward with this tap land, but we have two 1-drops, so we can just go 1-drop on our first 2 turns. No big deal. Opponent went to 6. I think we're still just playing Raggy Man. And one thing I didn't quite talk through, I don't think like it's prudent that we mulligan down to Blood Moon or try to find these hate pieces. Like they're good cards, but we can also just win with a fair aggro draw, like what we're presenting here. I'm pretty much saying to my opponent, hey, answer this Ragavan, hey, answer this before it starts flickering things, hey, Raptor's gonna 2 for 1. And that's also a fine way to win a game. I don't remember Bowmasters in their list. Is it in the sideboard, maybe? Oh no, they do have 4 Bowmasters in the main. Okay. Yeah, so definitely we do want to cut that Ragavan. I think here, what we should do is maybe put a Raptor. We could also play Guide of Souls. Get some more energy generation going. Raptor. Let's see what we get. This is going to be a 2 for 1 no matter what. I love this card. This sword's so good. Oh no, I can't cast it. No, we were going to draw Blood Moon. It was going to be so good. No. I should have waited. I knew it. Dang, Blood Moon would have locked them out too. Look at that land, those lands they have in play. Oh, I'm upset about that one. I think that's a loose play by me. I forgot that I sideboarded in a bunch of 3s, and that makes Raptor a lot less good. Maybe that's also an argument to lead on Guide of Souls instead of the Raptor. Alright, right here we're going to play Amulet. I'm going to tap it immediately, see if we hit a land. 2, cool. So we get to go ahead and play Guide of Souls and start generating more energy for the Amulet. Oh, that Blood Moon would have been so good, huh? Oh well. Can't be mad about it. We can make the decision better next time, though. Alright, Ramiac Excavator. That looks like it's just a juicy Flage target, if I'm going to be honest. Do I want to fly in and get aggro? Yeah, actually, I think getting aggro here would be worth it more than the card advantage. No. Yeah, no, I don't think I need that. Go ahead and take out this Excavator. Hit here. Get an energy. Great, now we're going to go to combat. And we're going to spend all this energy on aggression. We're going to do the same next combat too. We're going to do Guide of Souls at Johnny. We're going to make so much energy. Oh, never mind. We get to spend it on card advantage then. They did let me generate an extra energy here. They probably should have swordsed it before I got the 1 energy. Not a huge deal though. Ooh, look who it is! What's unfortunate is if they have a fetch land, they do get to put Uro into play. They don't. Okay, sweet. They could also just have like a counter spell here. I also want to think about what I do want to play after the moon, and I think it's going to be the Ajani, so let's keep this basic plains up. It's going to be the Ajani or the Guide of Souls, depending on whether or not this resolves. Coco in response. Wait, I didn't remember Coco from their list. I mean, it's 80 cards. I couldn't read all of them. Alright, sweet. Sorry, I got a little distracted by my phone. Blood Moon does resolve. I think we're good to play a Johnny. We could also think about playing Philia. But playing a Johnny to make sure that we can't get attacked.
What a beautiful day, brother.
It's pretty good, because now if they attack us, we just get to flip the Ajani. Now, they did get to resolve a Knight of the Reliquary, which is pretty cool. They sacrifice a forest or plains. Okay, so they cannot sacrifice these, because they lost all the types, and now they're just mountains. I was thinking, oh no, maybe they could go ahead and get a basic off of this, but that's not quite how it works. they would need these to have the other basic types in the first place. So it doesn't quite solve their problem. Swords on a Johnny, that's pretty good. I do not think I'm blocking anything. Alright, so one unfortunate thing is that we did put ourselves on only one white source, so we don't get to get Fleech back. But we will get a Gigantha next turn. And I will play Guide of Souls to hopefully generate a little bit more energy. And I think I'm attacking. Do have the ability to get more life and more energy. So I think it's fine for us to attack. Our opponent's like very limited on what they can have and can play with a Blood Moon in play. Any draw for us is fine. Even if we draw land, we just get to play both of our threats, which is pretty sweet. Also, actually, I just realized Gigantha will allow us to cast the Fleech. That's very interesting. They went for the 5th mana. What do they have? Something with a basic green component. Blow up my Blood Moon? Nice. Oh, just a Reclaimer, which can turn these into basics. Okay. Elvish Reclaimer and a Thalia. I will take the 2. A big board state from them. Very cool. Do I want that? That is a cool one, but I would be only be able to cast one spell in that case. I would get a second spell. Interesting choices. I'll get to activate Amulet in that case. This is a bigger roadblock that's better for blocking, because I do think I'm going to need to block at some point. Let's go ahead and play Gigantha. And, I think I'm going to keep my energy, because I might want the energy to make a lethal attack. I can fly Gigantha in to deal a bunch of damage. And I think we can take one hit here. Because Gigantha is a potentially lethal attacker. It's also something that'll allow us to cast the Flage. Alright, they're gonna make it a little bigger. That's cool. We need a creature to hit the graveyard to cast Flage, though. I'm 1 card short here. Deathrite Shaman, very nice by our opponent. Ooh, that is another Flage. We can use this other Flage to work towards casting the Flage for next turn. So gains us a lot of life, which I'm very happy for. Go ahead and hit that Deathrite Shaman. Actually, just kidding. We're going to hit that and we have lethal. Thankfully, I recounted. Because now we can go to combat, and then we can pay for flying. Sweet! That is a 2-0 against the Maverick pile. Unfortunate to be piloting Maverick and then just run into the Blood Moon opponent. But that's how tournaments go. Sometimes you win, sometimes you spin, folks. Alright, we're back for round 4, and we have a very cool Boros matchup that I'm going to show on screen really quick. This is against Gage, also known as Shadow Basilisk. They have the Boros deck, but they really tuned it to be low to the ground with cards like Ruby Collector and what I think is an awesome include in Nurturing Pixie. This takes the role of Philia of being able to flicker your permanents, but it is a 2-power flyer when you play it, and it doesn't need to attack in order to do its thing. This is sweet. Let's see how it works out. So we have the slow mid-rangey build, and then we have the very fast and very low to the ground build. This is a sweet hand for me. Ragavan into Legend Rule of Johnny. Let's get it. And we're on the play. So against their deck, we're generally going to be looking to survive and then eventually win later. But when we have the Ragavan on the play hand, we can go ahead and turn on the gas. I think here we just offer the Ragavan trade. And they will accept it. Because if I were to play a Johnny pre-combat, they're also still taking that trade because the Ragavan's never going to get to attack. Not through the Ajani. Yeah, look at that. Pixie flickering the raptor. Let's get it. Ah, we're getting value already. Okay, sweet. So, do we want to flicker a Johnny immediately? I think the answer is no, because it dies to the Pixie. I think we do want to be playing this Fable the Mirror Breaker. That's a good card. I'm funking with my brain. Yeah, let's go for Fable. It's going to be a little slow against their deck. Let's do it. We're probably ditching both of these lands here. I will attack here. I'm, of course, happy with the trade. They won't take it because they have the ability to be on the beatdown with this flying attacker. All right, lots of stuff in play. Oh, they're gonna make a big pixie in the air. All right. Well, good for us. Okay, lots of good things happening. A swords is a very good thing. We're gonna get to flipper a Johnny and kill the pixie. I think we can turn the corner this game. Just thinking about how to use my mana here. Because I'm gonna have 4 mana available to me. 5 if I get an attack through with Philia. Or no, 5 if I get an attack through with the Goblin token. But we can't really do that into the Amped Raptor. So what I think we do is we start by Legend Ruling here. We're going to take out the Pixie here. And then we're either Philia or Swordsing. I think we are inclined to Swords the Guide of Souls. I think that's what we're going to want to do, because they're going to be able to fly this Ragavan if they play enough creatures. And yeah, this is also going to enable the Ocelot Pride. Them gaining life enables the Ocelot Pride. Interesting. Very interesting. So what do we want to do here? I think it's still the right play to get rid of this Guide of Souls. It's going to be so much life and so much energy this turn. I think that's correct, but I could be convinced that there's a better swords target, that maybe I should have waited for them to spend the energy flying something and then exile that. Oh yeah, they're going to go wide. Oh no, it's so many. Oh no, no, no. Oh, it's a good day, brother. That's another Ajani.
Where shall we hunt today?
I keep saying it's a good day, brother, and we haven't gotten that voice line yet. Okay, so now we can pick up Amp Trap or get more value. Very nice. Oh, one-way ticket to Value Town over here. And they get their own Johnny. That's so sweet. So now I can't really block cats.
To the hunt.
Ah, it's so good. This is such a good build. I let that hit me rather than letting them flip the Johnny, correct? I think so. They're gonna get so many tokens. It's so stupid. Oh, we get to flip the Johnny. Okay, hold on. Everyone calm down. I didn't even kill them, though. I think I just lose. Their board is too wide. They're gonna be able to hit me with God knows how many cat tokens. Weaken a Johnny and start, like, doing stuff. But I think we just lost to the better deck. That's gonna be game 1. Wow. This build is sick. Okay. We definitely want the static prisons as much as possible to slow them down. We even try an Archon of Emeria to slow them down. It's also a flying blocker, which would certainly help. Today is a very tough sell with how much they're jamming up the board. I want to cut it from the deck and start playing some pixies now. Oh, that's such a good innovation. I love it when players find just random little uncommons that really make a strategy click. It's awesome. You get rid of a Fable, as it's a slower and dirtier thing. I think Archon could be pretty good. This Fable, I mean, the Fable did as much as it's going to do for us here, right? And it just wasn't enough. How much more is Archon going to do? It's going to be able to at least slow them down. Hmm. Maybe Archon on the play is a sweet idea. And I caught one more Philia. And cut a Flage. Hmm. Not sure. Flage is sweet. We want Flage. Maybe cut a Ragavan just because it's so hard to connect with him, but we are on the play. We'll keep the 3 Ragavans on the play. Alright, this is a pretty good on the play hand. We have the Guide of Souls into Amped Raptor Curve. Always happy to see that one. Alright, let's go with the Ajani next, and then we can amp it up, or we could even ask for our Guide of Souls back. Wait, that's so much energy if we ask for the Guide of Souls back. Let's do it, right? I think we can run them over. This is a very aggressive line here, but I think we are going to run them over with 2 Guide of Souls in play. Give me this. And now we have double Guide. We're going to try to run our opponents over. This is kind of risky. This is definitely a bit risky. But we're going to be able to generate 4 energy this turn. A lot. Alright, Guide of Souls, Ruby Collector, you got it. Alright, I'm going to pay the energy. So I could just do Flage this turn and take out their Guide or their Collector. Flage take out their Guide seems pretty mid. So honestly, let's slow him down a bit. Flage, take out your thing, generate 2 energy and 2 life. We're going to spend some of that energy attacking you. I can be convinced that's not the correct play, though, and that we should have just played a Johnny or should have just played the Amped Raptor. This turn, definitely, we are playing the Amped Raptor, though. Goes one of my guides. Maybe a little more difficult to pay the energy upkeep on our prison. Ooh. Okay, well, never mind. So I'm gonna decline to pay here, because who cares? I don't have a permanent in play for you to exile. And then right now we can bring Flage back, or we could do with Johnny and the Amped Raptor. Am I scared of Ruby Collector? Where I think I need to remove it with Flage, same with Amped Raptor. And I think the answer is no, I'm not scared of either of those permanents yet. They don't have 3 creatures for this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play Amped Raptor first. We're going to see what we hit. We had a very cool amulet. I don't think there's any harm in tapping this. We got another Amped Boy, but I would rather put a Johnny into play.
May our axes strike as one.
I have 6 energy, that's too much.
will prove my worth to my pride.
Alright, the good news is that we can just take out a Johnny clean here. They're also going to get to take my Johnny out clean, of course, but we will have a Flage in play, which will hopefully win the game. Yeah, Flage is nuts. I don't know why I consider only playing one copy. Look at that nuts card. And then I think I am pretty good to attack with this Raptor. I'm very happy with a Raptor trade right now. Keeps them off of 3 creatures for their collector. I'm also happy to get extra damage in if they don't block. They do have a lot of energy, but it's going into upkeep right now, which is good. There's a Raggy Man? I think Ragavan plus Archon is going to be the play this turn. We're not going to dash our boy. Get rid of that token. So now, because of Archon, when they play Lurrus, they won't be able to play anything off of the Lurrus, which is sweet. Archon? Yeah, I do like the Archon inclusion. It definitely slows the game down. If we had this on turn 3, it would really slow down our opponent and prevent them from overwhelming us. And with them only being able to do one spell this turn, I think our board presence is pretty insurmountable. If they play one creature, it just dies to Flage. If they play one removal spell, then I still have 2 creatures. Yep, and that is a concession to Archon. Sweet. So on the draw, we're going to want one less Ragavan, I would think. But then are we too slow? Fable is a good way to get some value back, so I think we do cut one Ragavan, one Philia. Maybe cut more Ragavan? And play like this. It's a very heavy curve, very heavy. We can get run over like this. I would definitely like access to some other cards in my sideboard. Maybe I would even want a small sweeper. A one-sided sweeper, or one of those cards that says deal 1 damage to every creature, 2 damage to every creature. I would think about playing that right now. Yeah, I think on the draw, with our opponent having their deck stacked with Jet Collectors and Ocelot Prides and silly little fairies, I don't think Ragavan is ever going to be able to attack. Okay, unfortunately this hand has to go back. This one can be kept. We have the turn 3 Archon, so hopefully our opponent doesn't just run us over. Let's go ahead and let's just put back the Parlor. We can fetch for it. I am in fact going to fetch for it. We have turn 2 Amped into turn 3 Archon, and it'll hopefully slow the game down enough for us to stabilize. That's a very good guide start for them. They get to immediately fly something. That's sweet. It's surveilling. We don't want another land. Okay, let's play our Amps Raptor like we said. Let's hit something to clog up the board, or a removal spell. We do hit a cool removal spell. Let's get rid of this guide. Ooh. I have 4 energy, actually. We can get rid of the flying guide. I like that. Amped Raptor and Galvanic Discharge once again proving themselves to be the best cards in the deck. Little Fling Tongue Kabu out here, just throwing out 4 damage. There goes my Raptor. I'll take my 2-life Consolation Prize. Oh, yucky, they're gonna go wide. Alright, let's play our Archon and we'll see if this is enough. I don't know if it will be. They only get one spell here. Unfortunately, it is something that gives them City's Blessing and life gain. Yeah, I think they successfully ran me over. Wow. Yeah, that's a GG for them. That's crazy. What a crazy start. They're gonna get a GG for me. That is a really good build of the deck. I really love how they lowered the curve even further than what I had. They took out the clunky card and Philia. That's awesome. That's a deserved win. All right, that was it for Swiss, by the way. We got a bye for round 5, but this is good enough to get us onto the playoffs, so I will post those videos separately. This one is already getting very long. Thanks for watching if you stuck through the whole thing.